Okay, for question 5, it says right triangle DEF is graphed on the coordinate grid. The vertices of the triangle have coordinates that are integers. If we look down, it says what is the length of DE? So as we can see, they want to know the length of this angle right here. Okay? So now there's two ways to look at this. So to find this angle here, we're going to have to use the Pythagorean theorem. Just in case you don't remember the Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared, okay? So now what that means is we will need to find out the size of this and the size of this, which are the legs, to find the hypotenuse. This could be A or B. Any of these sides could be A or B in the L, which is a leg. This long side, the hypotenuse is always going to be C. So now, how do we find this, the size of this here? So remember, when it comes to this picture, on this side right here of the coordinate grid, this is X. Horizontally going from left to right or right to left is always X. So what we need to do is we need to look at the X on here and the X on here. So we need to know from -3, because I need you guys all to know that X and Y are written like this. The first number is the X, comma, the second number is the Y. So now back to this. So we need to know how much is it going to take to get from -3 to +7. We're just looking at the X's because we're going left to right. So how many spots would it take me to get from -3 to -7? Well, I can always go 7. Well, if I go from -3 to 7, that's going to be 10 spots. So this is going to be 10 here. 10, this whole side here is 10. Now, if we look at the Y, we have 2. The second number is always the Y. So 2 to 8. How many spaces is to get from 2 to 8? That's going to be 6, okay? So now we have our triangle. And I'm gonna redraw this. This is 6 and this is 10. Now remember what I said about the Pythagorean theorem. So we have to do a squared plus b squared to find what this is. So now, if I write the a squared plus b squared equal to c squared, we're gonna make a 10, we're gonna make b 6. So a's 10, 10 squared, b is 6, 6 squared is equal c squared. Okay, now, when you have 10 times 10 is going to be 100. The 6 squared, 6 times 6 is going to be 36, and that's going to go to c squared. Now, the 100 plus the 36 is going to be 136 equal c squared. Now, how do I get rid of this c squared to the 136? Well, I have to square root both sides. When I square root both sides, this square root is going to get rid of this square. I'm going to just draw this up here to get some more space. So remember what I said, we had this, and now this is gone, this is gone. The c is by itself, and it's going to be the square root of 136. On the high set, your calculator will be able to break this down to the possible answer, because as you can see, the possible answers here, you don't see a 136 here, a square root of 136. So we have to find the way to convert this 136. So we got to think about this way. You need to know your multiplication tables. We have to find out what's the perfect square to break into 136. So I'm going to go ahead and give you this. If you come to class, I can explain it more. So 4, the square root of 4 times the square root of 34. 4 times 34 gives me the 136. As you can see here, we can't break down the 34 any further. But this 4 we can. What is the square root of 4? It's going to be 2. And then you just put the square root of 34 right next to it. And this will be your answer. As you can see right here. And an easy way to check it is 2 squared is 4. 4 times 34 is 136. Okay? If you have any questions, you can always come to class and ask the questions, okay?